Okay, it is Tuesday, September 23rd at 7 PM, and I will call the meeting of the North Harold Planning Commission to order. Adjustments to the agenda, I would like to make one suggestion if everybody's fine. When we get to the visitors, let's just let Emily get into the application for municipal planning grant, and then we'll go to Lisa with her presentation for the capital improvement program. Everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, so next item, approval of the minutes of the August 26th meeting.
I make a motion to accept. Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Public comments, no members of the general public here tonight. Correspondence for action or review, we had, nothing, this month, so I will, at this point, turn it over to, this is Emily Cloft from the Northwest Regional Planning Commission. Maybe just, we'll go around the table and start with you, Pat, just.
Pat Sainsbury.
George Thornton, David Bauer, Robert Miller, Warren Ray.
And you know me, so.
Anyhow.
So it's all yours, Emily.
Sorry. Apologies. So I just brought the copy of your most recent consultation report on the town plan so that you have that. I brought this, which is just like a draft potential budget for review if you wanted to do a town plan MPD, it's like our standard. And then I brought copies of the municipal planning grant program description.
Okay, great. Thanks. Oh, bless you.
Excuse me, thank you.
No, you get one of those one? Yes. Not one of those, I'll just pass them out. Okay.
So this was our application back in 2020.
This is the review of the plan. I think we met in maybe 2023, 2024, when we did every
Oh.
4 years, we do a review of the plan. And we look at, where's the plan strongest,
Yeah,
where it's
okay.
potentially not meeting standards or pushing strengthen meeting standards and what opportunities exist. So the current plan, was adopted, in March 3rd, 2020. So it will expire March 3rd, 2028.
Mhm.
So now is a good time to start thinking about updating the plan.
Yeah.
Somehow, I cannot believe that like an 8-year planning cycle, something that happened right at the start of, right before COVID is suddenly
Yeah.
coming up again, but it is.
Sure.
So the municipal planning grant is the best funding source for more major revisions of town plans. So the options are usually try to find some limited technical assistance funding if you can. NRPC can assist through our technical assistance fund and do a minor update, but if you want to do a major update, the municipal planning grant is really the only grant funding source.
Okay.
That's it. So this application cycle, which is for fiscal year 2026, is due on applications are due November 3rd. The grant awards will be at the start of 2026. Closing out at the end of 2027, which would put you in a good spot.
Yeah.
With your plan expiring in March of 2028, great, getting them out of here.
Great.
The grant has a 10% local match and then it's 90% state funds. They are competitive grants. But we do have, I think, a good. Not a ton of applications as far as I'm aware this year, so I think this year is a good shot. For
Great.
applications. We'll see, you never know, but. So today I just want to talk through kind of what municipal planning grant scope of work might look like. What are sort of major themes that if the planning commission does want to do a major update, like what type of major themes do you want to focus on? Usually it's good to have a couple identified. Obviously more can come up through public outreach. And then, what sort of public outreach is the town most interested in? Because there's different options like surveys, doing some sort of public events. Different things there. Any initial questions there?
So go through that timeline again in terms of this grant
Yes.
process.
Yeah, so the grants are due November 3rd. So at that point, there has to be an approval from the planning commission and from the select board, so that's something that would have to happen in October.
Okay.
They then, they say award decisions will be delivered on December 30th. My experience is that award decisions are usually actually issued sometime in the middle of January, because January 30th is a terrible deadline to set for yourself or anything. Yeah.
Just on that point, the select board has already approved us moving forward with the grant application. Do they need to also approve the application before?
It's a big resolution that they have,
Okay.
um,
Well,
that's end time.
yep,
And also some additional forms that the select board chair has to sign related to basically that you're not out of compliance with state regulations around water quality and things like that. It's never an issue, they're just trying to,
okay, thanks.
yeah, so application due November 3rd, beginning of 2026. You'll hear whether you were awarded the grant, and then the grant project cycle is 2 years, so from the start of 2026, end of 2027. Um,
And then you've got kind of a end of the project report type thing.
Yes, yeah, so the project, there's a. Midterm project report that it happens in December of 2026, and then an end project report that happens in. By the end of 2027. And so you have the way that the funding works, you get, I think, 30% of the funding up front, and then you can requisition for another 40% in the middle.
Mhm.
And then the rest you requisition at the end.
And where's the final report go? Where's it submitted
To
to?
the state, to the Agency of Commerce and Community Development.
And they can accept it or reject it or what?
Yes, they will, it's just a report on what was done through the grant. They're not actually reviewing the town
Oh,
plan.
they're not reviewing the town plan?
No, I mean, they give them a copy of it to show the work product, but they're not reviewing it as we can accept or reject this town plans. Their reporting is more, did you do what you said you were gonna do in the grant application? It's the regional planning commission who's responsible for reviewing plans for conformance with state planning goals.
Does anyone else have to approve the plan? Do voters approve the plan?
Yes,
You have
yeah.
voters, yeah, I was gonna say sometimes you
Responsible.
have voters, yeah.
Okay,
So that's good timing for you as well, if you have it done at the end of 2027, if you're a voter approved town, because that's usually when you to get on the ballot for town meeting day.
Mhm.
I would assume usually right around the start of the year.
I just want to ask one question. Did we have a planning grant for the last, oh, we did, okay.
And it was, with NRPC again. I mean, they actually, they were our consultant.
Okay.
And it was Greta at the time that worked with us on that.
Yeah, so that's an option you have as a rural town, you can either decide you make the RPC the agent for the project, which means we just directly receive the contract and start working on it. Or you can, send it out to bid and send it out to bid for consultants. And we sometimes bid on those projects, that's an option that you have.
Does that, the bidding
Yeah.
or the selection of NRPC, does that happen during the application process or after we receive the grant?
Whether to make NRPC the agent, we just directly get the contract, or to go out to bid, it happens during the application.
Okay,
But you don't do the bidding itself during that.
yeah,
right, so we have between now and November the 3rd to select who will be, if we have a consultant, who will be the consultant, is that correct?
No, you have, you either say, we're making the RPC the agent, in which case you don't go for bidding and we just have the contracts. Or you say, we're gonna go out to bid on this project, and then if you receive the grant, you go out to.
Afterwards,
Okay.
okay, after the grant's received,
Yeah.
okay, thanks.
And you are welcome to do it either. We will help write the application regardless.
That's where we're gonna need some help for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you folks know all the right buttons to push and the right language to
Yes.
put in and all
Yeah.
that good stuff, so. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So any other questions on the overall timeline? The one thing I'll bring your attention to is on page 8 of the grant guide here. There are the statewide priorities, so for every year municipal planning grant, they identify different statewide priorities and those projects receive bonus points. So to the extent that you are interested in focusing on any of the areas that are related to this. So that includes implementation of Act 47, which is the Home Act, and Act 181. Those are related to the housing related changes in zoning, climate resiliency and flood recovery, housing development. Capital programs and plans for municipal improvements, physical improvement plans for designated area. The step up application really doesn't apply to North Hero. And other innovative and statewide projects that serve as a replicable model. So I would say that the ones probably most likely to relate to a town plan application would be the climate resilience, flood recovery, housing development, or plans for municipal improvements.
What about the focus on implementation of Act 47 and 181? I mean, we've already made some changes to our development regulations as a result of those acts. I mean, does that work in our favor that we've done that?
I think it's something that you can note that you've already changed your development regulations to. I think that's a good.
And then we just opted into the tier 1B class with that. Does that help us in this application?
I think it's definitely, yeah, there's a section where you can talk about other efforts that
Okay.
town is doing, I think that would be a good thing to know.
Okay,
So Lisa's gonna be talking a little bit about our capital improvement plan, but that on that fourth bullet.
Yeah.
Capital programs and plans for municipal improvements. We just passed a bond for the fire department building and garage. So that's something also that would probably be noteworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, well, of course, by the time we get the town plan completed, those
Those
buildings
will
will have
be-
been built.
Right,
Yeah,
but it's still part of.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
ongoing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
that we've got that evidence of.
Yes. And won't we have kind of an innovative approach to capital planning? You think, with the new model, the economic model? To define, I mean, I know you're gonna talk about that later, but to define, help us define priorities for the select board, is that correct? I mean, wouldn't that be considered
I
innovative?
think having a capital improvement plan, a program and a plan, just
Yeah.
gotta help.
Yeah, so you're looking at building and a capital improvement plan.
Well, we built it,
Oh, you built it?
yeah,
Yeah, it's done.
it's,
I mean-
we're improving on it every year,
Yeah.
but it's, this is our second year.
Yeah, great.
and we're also updating our hazard mitigation plan.
Yep.
So, all good things that we've done or are doing. So, but again, back specifically to Act 47 and Act 181, it appears they carry quite a bit of weight in the evaluation of the application. And I guess I'm speaking for myself, I would like to see the opportunity for more housing, but also recognize that we love our open space, we love the rural character of the town.
We tried, they shot us down,
What's that?
we tried to do that. Your word shot us down.
just, that's on lot size, minimum lot
Yeah.
size, yeah.
We tried.
Yeah,
They're not gonna let us do it.
yeah. But. Okay. So the actual mechanics of filling out the application.
Yeah.
Do you expect us to kind of make the first pass and send it to you, or do you kind of take the bull by the horns and consult with us?
Yeah, we can definitely do a first draft. I think
Okay.
what I'm looking to get for tonight is some of those like initial idea phases. I'll work on a first draft, come back in October with a scope of work, a more finalized scope of work. And at least the project description portion of the application so that you can make an informed decision on applying.
Okay.
Doesn't really give us a whole lot of time.
Well, that's what I was getting to. So it seems to me, since our next formal meeting is shortly before the deadline, is that you're gonna wanna get some kind of feedback in between. So I'm thinking maybe we could designate 2 or 3 of us to work with Emily
Yeah.
over the next month. So that, when we actually present it to the planning commission as a whole, some of us have bought into it.
Or can, I don't know about the legalities. Can everybody be informed? I mean, I could you could have a small work group, but then keep.
Yeah, well, I
everyone
mean, we can
So it's
distribute
not like a
information.
A surprise,
Everyone
on the
Right, but
Yeah.
last
and
third of
things, and everyone can send comments to me, you just
Yeah.
can't send comments to each other, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
yeah.
we're familiar with the open
Yeah.
meeting law. Yeah.
Under open meeting law, if you send comments to me, that's fine, because I'm not a member of your board, but
Yeah.
if you CC everyone, that's where it becomes the problem.
Okay, yeah,
And then if we wanted to have a meeting about any of it, like we thought we needed discussion, how do we do that?
well, if
it's
it's
before the-
not a quorum, it's not an official meeting. So that's why I say
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
designate 2 or 3 of us.
So,
And maybe to once a week, communicate with Emily and, whatever works with your
let me
schedule.
just clarify again, Emily, that, for you to really come up with the structure of this.
Yeah.
Proposal, you would like us to give you some of our priorities?
Yeah, some major priorities, things you wanna focus on, for example, like when Montgomery did their town plan, they really wanted to look at conservation of natural resources, housing in their villages as it related to the wastewater planning they were doing. And they had a third one that I've forgotten now. Or like when Richford was doing theirs, they really wanted to look at walkability and sidewalk planning in their village. And how to address the housing quality challenges and housing stock aging. That's just for like, things like that, understanding some of the major things that you want to. Obviously, when we do the plan, we're gonna update all the data, all the information, but are there areas in specific that you want to highlight, that you want to get feedback from residents from? And obviously that will change over the course of the project as you're getting feedback, but some initial ones, it's helpful to.
To me, right now, that is the highest priority, is to see what the people in North Hero want
Yes.
to see for this town.
I don't think you're gonna make that November 3rd.
That's, yeah,
But we're gonna have to, or we're not gonna get the grant, so.
I mean, if you keep it, if your scope of it is, don't wanna say broad enough, but
Yes.
broad enough that within that, you can do a lot of different things.
Sure,
Uh,
exactly.
Only because, after you get the grant, it's getting the grant to.
That's the key.
That is-
Want to
you
get the
gotta-
grant.
grant.
Yeah, you
You gotta put what you wanna do in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like George says, let's keep it general, but
Yes.
let's emphasize that we really want to get community involvement, and we've got Pat that's volunteered to help with surveys and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it can be broad and it can be with the understanding that as you do community outreach, things are going to change.
Yeah.
They expect that to happen and
Yes.
these grants are great because they're state funds and so they are really flexible. And they want communities to do good work and do good outreach. They're not gonna be like, well, you said you were gonna focus on this and then every single person in town said focus on this and you focused on it. Why? They're gonna understand that.
it's true.
Um,
Yeah, and we can't, anticipate what the people are gonna say.
right,
Yes.
we have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I think it's more just if you know there are issues or there are sort of flashpoints that are coming up already.
Yeah.
And then the other piece is thinking about how you would like to do that outreach, like what makes most sense for the town. Sometimes we do like a big surveying effort, like where we send out postcards to everyone's house. Sometimes we do more of like community events, sometimes it can be a mix.
And,
And I don't know what's been effective for the town in the past.
well, yeah, our last update in 2020, and you mentioned it got approved by NRPC in March of 2020. I think that was like my second NRPC meeting, and it went in a responsibility to vote to either approve or not approve. I didn't even know there was an updated town plan, which, you know, tells me maybe the last time around, there was not a lot of outreach or, so.
Yeah, so something we can do is a mailing, we've done that for like postcard mailing, where we try to do it to all the addresses that are on the voter registration list.
Yeah, well, again, Pat has experience with that, so that's something that I would have the two of you coordinate on.
That would be- Mailings are great, but they can be tricky timing wise with the items community, seasonal residents and all that.
Right.
But given that you'd like something from us by.
November the 3rd.
Well, no, that's the deadline, no,
To come out with a
the
draft.
draft,
You'd
yeah.
have to come, you'd have to be the last week of October.
Well, that would be the final approval of the draft,
Yeah.
But again, I go
we're
back to-
talking about the first draft.
Yeah,
The first draft. It's-
that you can send out to all of us and get comments individually.
yeah,
But we
What
can't vote on
what
it.
are you talking
No.
about?
Can't vote on them until,
get a first draft together, what, is the second to last week of September?
Yeah.
23rd, so probably by like the first week of October.
Okay.
okay, great,
That's really good.
Yeah, that's
A
good.
Well,
draft,
just to get, yeah, I know, but it's just. to-
That's at least, yeah.
Yeah,
don't-
just to interact with and to be able to move it. And you got the structure of it too, so
Yeah.
it's all about,
I mean, I
it's a-
don't even know what. the-
it's a template.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah, I
know,
don't-
in the in the agenda packet, if you on your computer, there's a link to,
Oh, okay.
which is where this came from.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it has the actual application
yeah,
and then it has some suggested, or hypothetical answers.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of information there.
Yeah, I also brought this Excel sort of sheet tonight, which is like a sort of template budget that we've used in the past for town plan, municipal planning grants.
Oh, okay.
So this is typically what we do, and then just tailor the sort of focus and specific, you know, type verbiage, and if you want to do the community,
Yeah.
we can make changes, this is just a general one that we.
Yeah, sure, okay. So as far as so you'll put the budget together.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, so it can be a maximum of $30,000, based on your experience with other towns, do you have a feel for
Yeah.
what the
yeah, so
budget might be?
Today, I think the total budget is around like $20,000. If you wanna go out and you're thinking that you want a private consultant, I would recommend that we increase the budget because they're more expensive per hour. Like we did one with Fairfax and they thought they might go to a private consultant, then we did got the project.
Yeah,
But they, I think, had a slightly higher budget, to accommodate for that.
and, NRPC has the capacity over the next year or so, okay.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, we have. Good capacity, I think, right now, we've got Greta, Luke and I all on the planning team, which
Great,
have experience with town plans.
okay. So, having said that, would you prefer just to do the draft, send it out to all of us for individual comments? Would you like to set up a small working group?
Yeah, however is best for you, either is fine.
I guess, how do you all feel about that?
I guess I think it would be easier, maybe not easier, more beneficial to have us all take a look at it.
Have-
Oh, that's gonna happen
Have-
anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, halfway through, instead of having small,
Okay, yeah,
but I don't, just me.
It might help to have a draft and then maybe we have a small group,
That's a good idea too.
you know, because then you'd have something to. Maybe we could have several small groups. So, I mean, so we're not, I mean, if people want to get involved, right? So we're not having a quorum.
right.
I maybe that's too complicated.
Well, if we have time in this meeting.
Mhm.
We could maybe focus on some priorities. You know, get us started.
Which we've thrown a few things out already,
Yeah,
but yeah,
We could do that, and then maybe a small group.
Yeah.
To just maybe refine it a little bit, check with members, you know, see if
Yeah.
everybody's
well, no, I
okay.
like the idea. Let's throw out our priorities while we're all here.
Yeah,
And so let's go around. I mean, I've kind of given my thoughts. Pat, what do you have for?
Well, I agree that we'd like to have people's input, you know,
Yeah.
I'd like to know what people in town want to do. And then we've talked about, I mean, the balance of open space and the balancing that
With the housing.
with housing. So,
Yeah.
you know, and then I think the whole, depending on how things are going with, you know, federal money and all that, the thought about climate resiliency and flood recovery. I mean, I'd hate to see people in our town have to deal with that without help. I've been to that movie. It's
Yeah.
not a good. movie.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
you know,
George?
yeah, I would concur with climate resilience and flood recovery. I think that's gotta be in our focus, one of our focus. I've gotta be a little bit more familiar on Act 47 and 181. I wanna kind of look at that because that seems to be important, but I think regardless, we've got to decide as a community how we wanna develop housing
Hmm.
in this plan, and so we gotta put a focus. I mean, I see a lot of these things, these priorities being, ones we'd be interested in, but probably not that water and wastewater vision. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that one is.
No, that doesn't really apply to us.
no,
And even the downtown village center, I wouldn't mind getting perspective about that, because I've heard that from voices out there. That I wish if we develop, we need a center or something, but so I'm gonna be quiet, but I think housing development and. Climate resilience and flood recovery
Yeah.
too.
Just on the village center, when I said we opted into tier 1B designation, that has to do with Act 250. And by opting in, it allows us to, within the community, within our planning process in North Hero, to approve projects up to 50 housing units, up to 10 acres within the village district.
Okay,
So that's, like I said, that I think is a positive for us.
that's a positive.
So-
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, where are you gonna get to ten?
No, it doesn't, that's not as important now as the fact that we've opted in.
We're gonna buy,
Yeah.
we're gonna buy those. towns.
Yeah, no, from a practical
Good luck.
standpoint, we're not gonna put 50 more units in the village district, but
wow.
Good luck.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, I agree with that, but
I know.
But-
I feel the same way, housing, and I feel like Warren does too. I mean, yes, I think that's a great idea. However, you know, we've talked about that, and really, there aren't 10-acre lots out there that people are gonna be able to develop, so. But I still think those should be the priorities also.
Yeah.
You gotta get them people to wanna do it though.
Yeah.
Right.
well, that, yeah,
Well,
that's,
that's, yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
the main thing's the housing to me.
yeah, okay, so, yeah.
It's housing, but they, you know, they shot us down.
Well, that's one, look, that doesn't mean it can't be undone, you know?
Right. Everything can be undone.
Yeah. And just, you know, this'll, if we wanna take a hard look in the future on our development regulations with the idea of making changes, this is the foundation, it's the town plan, so let's get the town plan the way we want it. And then we can go back and focus on the regulations.
So part of Pat, I think what she was saying too is, once we've really gotten a good sense of what people want in this town,
Mhm.
the citizens of this town. Given what we know about the census and the demographics, this is a much older community than it was in 2010. In 2020, I forget what the average.
Average age now is 60.
Yeah, and it was 49. in
Driving them out of
2010,
here was
so
awesome.
it increases it, so
I mean, you
so the
just had-
census data is, but we're growing.
$500 to.
So we've gotta, that's part of what we should
Right,
put
right,
in
yeah.
a little bit into this proposal. How our demographics are really influencing our decisions.
I mean,
Like, if we were thinking
Oh,
of
checkbook.
supporting
They
more
will.
seniors here, because the bulk of the people here our capital improvement might be focused on activities.
Yeah.
For seniors. That we don't have a hell of a lot right now. We have some, but we had
And just out of curiosity, Emily, do we?
we have plenty of seniors.
Yeah.
We're all getting them.
Well, you know, the alternative is worse,
Yeah.
That's true.
not getting to people.
Yeah, do we use our existing town plan as the starting point, or do we start from scratch?
You,
Yeah,
most often we use the existing. town
yeah, I mean, there's a
plan.
lot of good stuff in that.
The whole thing out, but that's mainly because it was very outdated.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
one of the reasons I wanted to tackle this now is, there are some outdated, information in our
Yeah.
existing town plan.
I think last time we just went off our town plan and improved it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
That's what,
I'd be in favor of that,
Is it?
Well, yeah.
that way we kept it there, but we.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Updated.
Moved stuff.
and I like the format of our existing town plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yep.
anybody else? Priorities that we haven't talked about?
I think it's mostly housing.
Yeah. So does that give you enough to start on, Emily?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to around the first week of October.
Just-
Down a draft.
This other thing with the water thing, not wastewater, but water.
Yeah,
I get people there, they would love to have water down through Holiday Point.
Wait, oh, town water,
Yeah,
town water. Well, that's important to
I've
know.
had 3 people down there asked.
That's
There-
important.
I mean, they've got the option to build
I
a
know.
private water line,
I
obviously.
understand that,
Yeah.
but why don't we put it in ourselves?
Well, that gets back to the CHIP program, right? If the town wanted to take on, we could go ahead with an infrastructure project. And borrow money, I guess, from the state and pay it back through the additional revenues we get. So that's a possibility.
So that you can put in a, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we might want to consider expanding the
Wow.
water
Pretty
distribution.
much, that's about the only road that don't have it, isn't it?
No, there's more than that.
Down Salt Park.
Down- Once they getting water from the lake.
That's not
that-
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Salt wells,
That's.
Yeah.
that's low water.
wells are full
Well,
salt.
that's not a good thing.
No.
you know, like
And a lot
the
of those folks.
Bow Arrow Point doesn't have water. Of course, those were all
Well, maybe
seasonal.
we should look into that.
Well,
Maybe that's
part
one of the
that's
things we
part
ought to
of
be
what we're
looking
gonna-
at.
Yeah, we can talk, yeah.
Is who doesn't have.
So
town
that
access
would
to
mean
town
that
water?
we're now, yeah, we're
Probably-
maybe gonna take advantage of the
Would
CHIP
we be
program.
able to
Yeah, good point.
fix,
Okay,
fix
yeah.
that? That's good to know.
All right, that's good.
Rather do that than spend that turn down.
Any other questions or
Nope.
comments?
No, no. Emily, we appreciate you coming over here. Look forward to working with you on this.
Every select board resolution and signature would have to be before the application.
Yeah.
Yes, you need to get that on the over agenda.
They don't have to see the draft, right? They just need to
No.
approve this, right?
Try to give- So they see the budget and match, but I don't give them the whole draft generally.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, like, they've already approved it in
Yeah.
concept,
Yeah.
so it's just a matter of approving that document. Yeah, let's just put it on the next.
Yeah, I
Select board.
can get you the resolution template.
Cause they meet what, the 6th and then the 20th?
20th, yeah.
Okay.
They meet in October.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can get the template of the resolution and then,
Well, that being the case, then we can wait till the 20th and cause we'll have some sort of a draft by then, so, yeah, great.
yeah, so I like to have the final budget number for them, so they see. what
Yeah.
their numbers is gonna be.
Okay. Great.
They have, they're gonna spend that.
All right. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
Would it help to have anything up here on the monitor for what you wanna talk about? I can't. You know, I printed that out. Yeah, let's do that. If we can get those charts up on the monitor, I think it'd be helpful.
Oh, just. How many? Applications.
Thanks, Emily. Good night.
How many what?
What percent of the
back of
grant?
Here, so each year, it's, the allocation is by region, so I think last year was pretty competitive. we played like 8 applications and 5 got funded, something like that.
That's good.
But at least from what I'm aware of this year, I think we'll have a few less applications, so it might be a bit less competitive, but it's hard to say. Exactly.
So there, it's either approve or disapprove based on our budget, right? It's not like, you say we had a budget of 20,000, they, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Checking right now.
Okay.
So first we sent out we made some changes to the program itself. And I don't know if I sent you the document that we sent to the select board of the
Yeah.
changes, did I send this in?
Yeah,
When I sent
yes.
everything out? Okay. So, we just kind of gave it some more structure, changed it from 10 steps, from 11 to 10 steps.
Yeah, so now go to the minus,
Oh,
right at the bottom.
this it doesn't pick up.
See if we can fit it all on the screen and still be able to read it.
Oh, well.
You're in the lower right-hand corner.
Yeah, I just had to move my,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
there, that's everything. I
there's the whole thing. Yeah. Can you all see that?
Mhm.
Okay.
So this is our plan, our 5-year plan, we have fiscal year 26, which is the year we're in right now, and then we have the next 5 years. So, the new thing, so the fire station is there. The select board is looking into village radar signs like they have in South Europe to kind of cut down on the speeding through the village, so we added that. The community hall things have been there, they have a 50-year capital plan for this building, and so we're kind of going off of their plan. So the exterior painting, they're gonna renovate the floors, exterior paint touch-up in between the painting the whole outside, carpet replacement for downstairs, and then interior painting. Parks and Recreation has been trying to get a grant for their Pilots boardwalk replacement. It's about $35,000, I think, and they haven't been able to get a grant the last 2 years, so we added that onto the plan. The listers now, the legislature is requiring that towns reappraise every 6 years. So we have a contract to reappraise starting in 2027 to finish for the 2028 grand list year. And that'll be a rolling every 6 years, so we're gonna need to plan for $150,000 to $200,000 reappraisal every 6 years, so that will just continually stay on there.
Hmm.
Public Works, the garage is on there, and then, replacement truck. Town office, as part of the vault. The vault has its own fire suppression system, and it should, that door, the vault door should close automatically when the fire suppression system goes off to protect the records, and it doesn't have an automatic door closer, so we're trying to look into that. The library, the book shed, they've already done, carpet replacement, they already have a quote for, and I'm not sure when they're planning that. They'd like to replace the entranceways and do an outdoor refresh 1 and 2, and to do that in 2 phases. And then water are the 2 big water projects. The storage tank and the line replacement. And then there's a funding summary on the bottom, and the parts in red are what we are actually short, what we don't have funding for. The $15,000 for this fiscal year that we enter for the radar signs that we didn't plan for. And the $43,000 is for the Pilots Point Boardwalk replacement. They are looking at other options and getting that knocked down, so, but there is no plan for funding for that.
Okay.
Everything else is funded through grants or their drinking water revolving fund, or the Vermont Community Foundation pays for half of all capital improvements to this building. And then the reserve funds that we have that we're saving for.
So the line replacement, that has not happened yet, right?
That has not happened. They just had a 90% review, project review meeting for that.
Uh-huh,
And that will
Supposed to happen in the spring.
bring, yeah.
okay,
Are-
does that complete, that replaces line that's not good? Right now?
Exactly, up on Route 2, exactly.
Okay, and is there's no other places beyond that will have that kind of need, you know?
Well, I think there's
In
3
time.
miles of line that would need to be replaced.
Well,
Not gonna do them.
potentially could be
I'm
replaced.
just saying, this is a 5-year plan, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got grants for this.
Okay,
I think, beyond this, we'll have to look year to year and see what.
see what the,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
The grant funding runs out in December of 2026, so they're
Okay.
pushing to get as much to use, maximize the grant funding, so. At this point, that's what they're focusing on,
Yeah.
and then they'll look at the rest of it.
the towns put a resource into taking down a lot of diseased trees.
Yes.
And do we
They-
have any,
and-
do we have any resource in that in North Hero for ash trees? To take them down that are, you know, I know utilities are responsible for.
Correct, yep.
Trees.
Public Works is working on that, and they upped their budget to $10,000 for a tree
But they only take the trees that are in there right away.
in their right of way.
in the right,
Yes.
but not generally trees that are.
Right.
Homeowners are
Responsible
responsible.
for their own.
And what do the utility companies take then? I mean, the electrical,
they'll,
you're saying the power company.
yeah, but they removed a couple of ash trees from my property 2 years ago. And,
But They just do that if,
they're quite, well, my neighbors and we asked,
and they did.
and because the trees were within 10 feet of the power line.
We
they
did
said-
too, just recently, and we have 2 trees marked.
And they weren't-
We were very fortunate on the timing, because they had somebody working right down in Grand
Those are the
Island,
ones
so they
we
just
care
Yeah, right,
bounced
right.
up here afterwards. But they're not proactive, not necessarily proactive.
No,
And the same, and actually Route 2 is obviously responsibility of the state, and they've indicated they're not going to be proactive. If a tree falls down across Route 2, they'll come clean it up.
Will come before.
Well, you think about it, there's tens of millions of ash trees in the
It's
state. I mean, it's,
unbelievable.
and just drive around town now
Yeah.
and see all the dead trees. It's a huge problem.
Yeah, okay.
That it?
That-
So-
That's, yeah. go
Okay,
ahead.
so what do you need for action from us?
So, just any feedback. So this is the draft plan, and it goes to you for any comments, questions. One other thing that, after going to the select board meeting 2 weeks ago, the hazard mitigation has a draft plan, and I saw all their action items, which included some things that really should be put on here. But at this point, we don't have time to do it. because it has to go to the select board and everything else, so,
Well, it's still gonna be a while before that plan is approved anyway, the hazard mitigation plan, so,
okay.
so,
There were a bunch of action items
yeah,
that
so
we'll,
that
we'll include in
gets
the plan
addressed in
for
the next
next
year.
year,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you do this, your process is annually
Every-
updated. Okay, so because what I was just gonna say, we're involved in a new town plan here. There might be some anticipated things we see in the
Yeah.
new town plan,
Yeah.
people see in this thing
Yeah.
that are not here.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
that's why I think in the next year or two, we'll probably inform this a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think for next year, we'll add the town plan.
Yeah.
Anything over $10,000, so.
Okay.
We'll include that, and we'll include the hazard mitigation action items. So this is the draft. It goes to you for your review, feedback, any concerns, questions, things you wanna see added, changed. Something we forgot.
is what you heard from us tonight adequate for the feedback that you need?
Sure,
Okay,
So what's an outdoor refresh, 1 and 2?
Yeah, that's one
I'm
thing.
like baffled by that.
Library, yeah.
You rake the lawn, plant irises 1 year and
Oh, that's the
the
wall,
next, or,
cleaning, some painting the walls, I think, right?
I think it was painting, yep,
okay.
and
Refreshing the outside of the building, bro.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I'm like,
That's what,
Oh,
really,
it looks
it's
like
really
it's
what they
paint.
should say, instead of saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
It should say painting the outside of the building.
Right, and it
So
was-
people would
Yeah.
know exactly what it means.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you have
Okay.
the submission Ds on your computer? Cause I could look up exactly what they submitted. Where would it be? Can you get to the SharePoint folder? I can send it to you.
Okay,
I can look it up.
Alright.
They have to, everybody has to submit appendix D that has what the project is and what
Right,
they're
right.
doing. So the library was very good about giving descriptions and,
Appendix D.
yep, for the library. It's outdoor refresh 1 and 2.
Not finding an answer.
So we.
Can I just ask a question? Because
Of course.
that's- so I know Parks and Rec has a lot of summer activity for kids.
Mhm.
And what about for kids that can't pay, they don't have the money, families don't have the money to access these summer activities? Is there a scholarship thing or?
There is, Parks and Rec does have a scholarship
Yeah,
program and
okay.
has accepted donations, mostly for the swim program.
Okay,
I haven't heard, but they may be
They-
applying it to other, but they do get donations and they do have a scholarship
Okay,
program
good.
and
All
apply
right,
it.
that's all I want. Yep.
Yep.
But it could, that's something that also could be in something like this.
Well, if only if it's over $10,000.
Oh, okay.
that wouldn't be.
So yeah, we're looking for your feedback, before it goes, it would then go to the select board for their feedback, and then it goes to the public. We do a public hearing, public can weigh in on it. And then, it's incorporated into the operating budget for fiscal year 27.
well, as far as I'm concerned, you've gotten our feedback for now. I mean, obviously, if any
Right.
individual wants to weigh in, okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa, appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Just one more question.
Sure.
There's always one more question.
See, we have to put up with this every month.
I know, that's why.
You gotta start calling them one.
I know. What is that variance, that, and the difference, that 58,000 at the end?
Yep, that's what we don't have funding planned for.
The sum
So the
of the-
$15,000 was for the radar signs that the select board is interested in doing this year, that we did not put in the budget for fiscal year 26.
Didn't we bring that up too, Andy?
Yeah, we did.
We brought that up too about putting them in, they shot us down.
The radar signs?
The people, the people here.
In the village.
Village people.
They don't want the signs in?
Well, that was before I was on the planning commission, but that's when you guys did the study of
Revitalization.
They don't want no blinking nothing.
This area, they want no blinking.
whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever. That's,
Wouldn't even bother.
And then the 43,000 for fiscal year 27 is the Pilots
Right,
Point
okay.
boardwalk
Yeah.
that we're
Okay,
short
all
in
right, thank
funding,
you.
so.
That's, I just wanted to-
Yeah, everything else is either planned for in reserves or loans or
Okay.
grants or.
great.
Thanks.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
If I can find that library.
Okay, I think we've kind of already talked about the, actually, it should be the August CA report. I think we've all had a chance to look at it. Anybody have anything that they want to bring up? Okay. All right, let's go to unfinished business. Okay, so the status of the bylaw update. So the, again, it was turned over to the select board, what, 6 weeks ago, something like that. They've discussed it every meeting since then. Where they're at right now, and this is as of the meeting last week, which I was there. They have essentially accepted all of our proposed changes except for signs. And they spent a lot of time talking to about signs, and they want to talk about it some more. But they're gonna go ahead with their first public hearing on October 20th. See whatever, and they actually asked to tweak the language a little bit more on the signs from what we submitted. So I've done that, but they recognize that because they haven't finalized that, they're gonna have to have at least one more public hearing in the future. It's probably not a bad thing, because some things may come up at the public hearing, the first one that they want to address. So that's their schedule, public hearing on October 20th. What we need to do, yeah, this is, I think, what they asked for. They spent a lot of time talking about it. It's more or less what we,
So they're saying no bigger than.
yeah, they want to go
15
back
square
to the
feet, so
15
3
square
by
feet.
5.
We had proposed 32, but again, it's not done. They're still gonna talk about it. So anyway, this is how it'll read going into the first public hearing. And then the other, so there's that. The other change they made, and I brought this up at our last meeting, planning commission meeting, is I recommended a tweaking to the lake setback, and that's should be in here.
Table 5.2.
Yeah, yeah, right there. Driveways we had put in there, but if you look at Lake Champlain,
Yeah.
they went along, they thought that was a good suggestion to add the 75-foot minimum. So, two things. It still directly ties us into the Shoreland Protection Act, and it also recognizes that for 50 years, this town had a 75-foot minimum setback. So, I know the DRB was pretty happy with that they've got, or at least members of the DRB that I talked to, that now they've got a firm figure there. So, anyway,
That's from what, 95.5?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
not edge of bank.
no, 95.5.
Okay,
It might have been Edged Bank for a lot of years.
yes, it
but
was.
Our last bylaw updates changed it to
Yeah.
mean water level, so, those are the two things different from what we sent to them, that they're gonna go into the first public hearing with. So then, one of the obligations of the planning commission is, since the select board made some changes, we have to update the report that goes along with the changes, and I think that's part of the packet too. But yeah, right here, so all I had to change was about the Lake Champlain setback. The language we had for signs still applies, even though they changed the dimensions. So I guess I got myself into a lot of trouble on this report the last time around. Because we don't have an option. We have to give this to the select board, so I won't ask to vote whether or not to submit this, but I will just add, if anybody has any comments, bring it up now before I do turn it over to the select board. Like I said, it's the same report we had before, except for the item on the Lake Champlain setback.
Just amazes me that 5 people can change everything. That, So
Well,
basically,
that's,
you just
you're right, no,
rewrite it.
that's the way the statutes read.
right, yeah, I know,
No.
it's foolish.
Yeah, yeah. So. Yeah, but nobody has anything else, that's where we stand on the bylaw updates right now. Next item, Mike Curtis replacement, we had recommended to the select, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Pat.
Oh, I went, I did find the information about the library.
Oh, okay,
Do you,
good.
do you want to?
Oh, yeah, well, go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, refresh one is entranceway replacement. Front door railings and stairs need to be replaced, $10,000 reserve fund. Library, number two, that says outdoor refresh one, hire landscape architect designer to determine better flow on exterior of building. That's what I have.
Yeah, so one is
Here.
hiring the landscape architect, and then two is actually doing sidewalks, stone gravel walkways,
Yeah.
sitting areas, shaded areas. They're trying to use the space outside,
Oh,
so furniture, that kind of thing. So one is to hire the architect and the landscape artist, and then two is actually.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, next item, Mike Curtis replacement. We had, voted to request that the select board not replace Mike Curtis and wait till the next election. They'd agreed to that, so that's where that is. One thing, I guess I'll bring it in now, it's appropriate. When we lost Mike, we also lost our vice chair. Which would be somebody that would sit in for me if I'm not available for whatever reason. I wouldn't mind having a vice chair, and
You're picking on the new kid?
Yes, sir, we are.
and one of the reasons I bring that up now, I'm not gonna be in town for the October meeting. I'm planning to zoom in, but we've had
You're
some
the
issues
perfect
at
person.
time, so.
I nominate Pat.
Okay, okay, have a nominate.
I second it.
I third it.
Okay, okay, Pat has been nominated to be our vice chair. Any further comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Do I really,
Congrats.
do I have to record that? vote?
Yeah.
Okay, so who nominated?
I did.
I second.
And, okay, and Warren second.
I know I know what you did.
I didn't get none of them cookies that you were bringing to
I
me on
know.
night.
Well,
Yeah.
this is why.
Eyes.
Congratulations, Pat.
Yes. Told me all about it.
Oh, yeah.
I was their personal banker.
Yeah.
Okay, next item is the budget for the planning commission and ZA, and I think we got a couple of spreadsheets there. Right, we're probably right at the very end.
Yeah. Is this,
No, it's,
Oh,
keep
it's way
going,
down.
keep going.
That's how we got a raise.
We got a raise?
Yeah.
Awesome.
here we go.
Okay. So the red column is just my first pass. The big change is I put, $3,000 in for the planning consultant, figuring that if we do get the planning grant, the town's gonna be responsible for 10%. The maximum amount of the grant would be 30,000, so I said, well, it's probably gonna have to come out of the planning commission, but.
Makes sense.
Other than that, it's pretty much carrying the same, so.
So the contract, with Danielle, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That doesn't go up,
Oh, this is the planning commission. We'll look at her
Oh, okay.
budget next, yeah.
All right.
This is just our budget here.
But doesn't you have to be paid for being here?
But,
No,
Yeah.
actually, her is,
these planning contract services.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, yeah, as the planning
Yeah.
commission clerk, she's covered here.
Yeah.
As CA, she's covered on the next one.
Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
yeah.
All right, got it.
So any comments, suggestions on this one? Okay. Then I'll look for a motion on,
We had at one point talked about upping Danielle's fees, but maybe that's in the other ones.
well, no, you see, it went from 2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No, you're at
No.
3,000 for this year.
Yeah.
3,000 this year.
Yeah, But we just started this year,
But it's not
is my
us,
point,
okay,
yeah.
we don't up that,
Yeah.
the
Right, so would it
NRPC.
increase for next year's contract?
You know, I did on the, maybe we should up that. I guess I would say 5%.
Yeah, up and that's what we
Yeah,
said.
that's what I
We
was
talked about doing.
Well, our contract right now has $3,000 maximum.
But what are they-
That's this number here.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, but for the
but
next.
what are they charging us next year?
It works out to about $50 an hour, roughly,
Right.
yeah. I think the hours are about right. We
What'd we
may
use?
anticipate
What did we
the
use this year?
50, well,
How much did we use?
Your actual right here.
the actual was 2,000, but it was a not to exceed number and we actually exceeded it. But,
Well, that's 24, 25.
yeah, but that
I'm
just
talking
ended.
25, 26.
Yeah, that's 3,000. And that's what's in.
Right, but we're going into 26, 27 is what we're doing, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that probably should go up.
Yeah.
Like I said, I considered that on the ZA budget.
So
So,
the
yeah, maybe
24,
we should bump
25
that up by another,
Last year,
what's that?
24, 25 was last year?
Yeah, the actual was,
Right.
it's because of the way the contractor was written and it was a not to exceed number.
Mhm.
But we were still playing around with the concept.
Mhm.
So that actually went over, which is why we went up to the $3,000, which is where we're at now. So that our next
I'd
contract,
probably go up $500.
I'd
We
find,
might be doing an extra meeting here,
Yeah.
there.
Right, well,
So-
with the planning, I mean, getting into.
Okay,
planning
right,
cycle.
Right.
so everybody in favor of bumping that up to 3,500?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll look for a motion.
What about advertising? If you're gonna do this municipal, the plan?
But that'll come,
That comes
that's
out
part of
of
our
the-
grant.
Right.
Yeah, that the grant definitely covers
If we
that.
don't get the grant, we're gonna have to probably.
Yeah, well,
Reconsider.
yeah,
Don't get the grant, we're just gonna have to be a little cheaper
yeah, exactly, so. Okay, so I have a motion
to, I'm.
to accept this with a change
With a
on
change
the,
of 3,500.
Yeah.
Second.
second, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, let's go on to the next one. So this is the ZA, which I don't think is really even up to the planning commission to approve, maybe as treasurer. Well, we've talked about this, and I don't think there's a good answer. to
There
this.
is not a good answer.
But anyway, this is,
I mean, you technically, you will, the planning commission would do the recommendation of a
Yeah.
CA, so.
yeah, okay, well, anyway, so you can see what I did here, like I said, in this case, I did add, the planning commission, we have a better handle on the hours, it's basically 8 hours a week, and I think you've been working hard to stay within that. So again, I bumped that up by 5%. And then, everything else kind of more or less the
You
same.
dropped, your zoning legal by $500, right?
Yeah, because we hadn't used any.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we had a budget of 1,000, we spent 135. Had a budget of 1,500,
That might go.
so, I mean, who knows? That, again, that's kind of a crapshoot as to whether we're gonna need it or not. But part of what I was trying to do is keep the bottom line, in line with the previous fiscal year.
So you went up 300 on the phone?
I think that's based on actual cost, isn't it? I think you would put that in, Lisa, in the,
1,000.
yeah, I thought.
Well, you spent
Uh,
854 and 24, 25, so.
Oh, yeah, okay, and we had a budget of 700, yeah, there we go, so I had budget of 700.
Go up. It's just
Yeah,
go down.
I put 1,000,
Already
yeah.
going up.
And you decided to keep the cell phone, right? To use,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely,
Okay,
that makes sense.
okay, anything else on this?
Well, no, again, I thought we had talked about increasing hers so that if she did decide, if we decided as a planning commission to have Danielle do site visits on occasion, that would be taken into account. We had talked about that.
Yeah, yeah, but you do site visits,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah, and She's got an assistant ZA that just informally filed a complaint that she's gonna follow up on with a friendly letter to start with,
And you
right?
completed a site visit for me. too.
I did, yeah, I did it.
Oh.
Yeah, friendly letter to start,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, look back at the report. You'll see one
You got a
certificate of compliance that I signed.
Someone did it? You did?
Yeah, well, I'm the assistant ZA.
We
So you complain on
get you for free, right?
You don't have to, theoretically, I can get paid for it, but I don't ask for it. In fact. Yeah, no, right there, you got a $500 budget for me, zoning and,
Right.
no, that's the, yeah,
For me,
So
yeah.
Admin assistant, yeah.
Danielle, how does it work from your side in terms of contracts? We're proposing this. Does this work in the context of how your side actually contracts with a local town? or-
I have no idea.
No,
I
I've been
did not
handling
know
that.
That at all.
So we've got a contract that kicked in, July 1st, which runs till the end of
Yeah,
June.
June.
So sometime during June next year, we'll have
Yeah,
to,
negotiate.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
we
we
don't-
thought we'll have it so, it'll match our
so we're
budget.
not really.
So
involved.
we don't really pay Danielle directly.
No, she's an employee of the regional planning.
So
Commission.
they,
They
It's
pay.
more right.
and we pay them, that's really. what we're
Yeah.
paying them.
Yeah,
She's
It-
a contractor to us.
Right, yeah, so.
But
They
the
said-
advantage to us, so she's got 3 different positions with the town. She's also the DRB clerk. All of that together adds up to 20 hours a week
Yeah,
and
okay.
3 different
But-
positions.
but
And
did-
we've had problems over the years filling all 3 of those positions.
No, that's great,
So,
but, and you go to other towns as well, I mean.
Well, one other
Busy.
town,
Full-time.
I do one other town and then I have other NRPC responsibilities.
Yeah,
then.
there's
You're,
just-
you're full-time
Yeah.
benefit.
You're 40
Yes, I
40
am.
hours a week
Yes.
and
Yeah.
That's
all
good.
that, that's great.
okay, so anybody wanna suggest changes here?
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and take it, I'll ask for a motion to approve the ZA budget.
I move that we approve the budget for next year, the CA budget.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Again, I'm not convinced that the planning commission actually has the authority, but we just took it.
They'll tell us.
Yeah.
We're just playing.
Yeah, you're the one that counts in all this. I think that's it. So future business, obviously, the focus on the next meeting is gonna be the application for the municipal funding grant. Maybe another, and an update on the regulations, because the hearing, select board hearing will happen before our next meeting.
So how did we leave it with Emily? She's gonna draft?
She's gonna put together the initial draft
Okay,
and send it out to all of us. And I guess where we left it, so we can all give her individual comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her your email addresses so that
Okay.
you guys can give her comments directly.
Okay. And then, Andy, if we think we want to do like little mini group,
Well, the more I think about it, let's let this first part play out. She'll send us a draft within the next couple weeks.
uh-huh,
I'll talk to her and see what the individual comments are that she's receiving. What I'm thinking is that because of the time crunch, we might want to call for a special meeting
yeah.
before our next
Yeah,
one.
that's
So
right.
Yeah, because otherwise.
That's,
we're-
yeah, that's probably better than,
I think it hits all the points we talked about.
yeah, like I said, let's,
In her draft.
then,
we are.
probably, yeah, but,
Yeah, if we're all happy, then there's.
yeah, then we won't have.
Fine.
So let's wait until that happens and,
So you reserve, I mean.
yeah,
we
I'll-
Possibly could be doing that.
yeah, I could be calling for a special meeting.
Yeah, okay.
About
and
that.
she'll have to, in that draft, put a budget together, right?
Oh, yeah, that'll be part of it, yeah.
That's where you usually have some disagreements.
Well, again, whatever the budget is, we're only responsible for 10% of it, so.
That's right.
Right.
Right, and you put in our 3,000, so you put in.
I
the
put in
maximum.
3,000.
You put in the
yeah,
max,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
in case we got the maximum.
So,
amount.
so when they give you a grant, they don't say, you asked for 30, but I'm sorry, we're just gonna.
No,
give you
that's why I
25."
asked her. It's either yes or no.
That's rotten.
Well.
Yeah, that is, that's.
You know,
I
that's,
guess.
it's not very,
Well, we're not the only ones probably asking.
No, probably not.
No, I got a sense that we have a good shot at this.
Yeah, that's what I got too. Yeah, especially if we hit all
Well,
the
we got it
hot
last
points
time.
that the state's
So,
looking
Yeah,
for.
so what happens if we don't get it?
Well,
I mean,
then,
what's
I
plan
guess,
B?
well, we can still take it upon ourselves to talk about what we wanna see in the.
Sure, I
town
mean, we
plan.
can do
We
it.
have
Yeah.
to come up with something before 2028,
Okay, well, that, we
Yeah.
have a little bit.
So it'll stay on the agenda,
or we just tweak our plan a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just to
And
get you
that's,
by
and
and
get us
Right.
by twenty
If we have,
twenty-eight.
yeah,
When is this actually this budget that we just, went through? when does
not
that
until
happen?
next July 1st.
So,
Oh.
we could.
That's what screws me up when he tells me the date.
I know.
That's it.
We actually, if
We
we,
can blame her for us having to go do our budget so far ahead of when they actually
we
take
could
credit.
also ask the select board if we didn't get the grant.
Yeah.
For additional resource.
I don't know if we can change it between now and then, can we, Lisa?
So we got until end of the year really to finalize the budget, so.
And we'll find out by then.
Yeah, we'll know by
it
then.
doesn't
so.
look like there's a
Yeah.
lot.
So, yeah. Good point. So we will have the option to request the change.
No, there isn't none.
I mean, we're already in a
They're
negative.
in the red.
Yeah, we're already
Right.
in a negative 53 or whatever, yeah.
All right, guess that's it. I don't know, anybody got any announcements they'd like to make before we leave? And I will, look for that final motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 8 to 10. Good meeting, everyone. Great comments with, who really, took advantage